Today we're talking about 4x4 camper trailers. A buddy of mine recently bought what he thought was a tough off-road trailer. Big tires, beefy frame, the whole adventure look. But only after a few rough trails, the suspension sagged, the underbody scraped, and the trailer spent more time in the shop than on the trip. Because here's the thing, most 4x4 trailers are built to look rugged, not survive the real world. Which is why today I'm breaking down the few 4x4 camper trailers that are actually worth your time, money, and adventures. Let's go. So first up, the Runaway Venturist 4x8. And look, this thing is basically the bare-bones champion of budget off-road trailers. It's literally a tough box on wheels, and I mean that in the best way possible. You're getting genuine trail capability here. Timbren axle-less independent suspension, 33-inch all-terrain tires on 17-inch wheels, over 20 inches of ground clearance. That suspension setup means each wheel can articulate independently when you're crawling over rocks or through deep ruts, instead of the whole trailer lurching sideways. The fenders are so beefy, you can literally stand on them. And at around 1,050 pounds, most mid-size SUVs can tow this without breaking a sweat. But like I said, it comes completely empty inside. No kitchen, no cabinets, no water system. You're buying the shell and building out the rest yourself. For around 10 grand base price, that's honestly a steal if you like DIY projects. But if you want plug-and-play camping, this isn't it. Next up is the Taiga camper Hermit, and this one's wild because it's literally built in Siberia, which tells you everything about how serious they are about cold and rough terrain. Steel off-road frame, independent suspension, double-glazed windows, and insulation so thick it's designed for actual sub-zero camping. When you're dealing with frozen ruts and snow-packed trails, that independent setup means each wheel can drop into holes without the whole trailer bouncing around or losing traction. The ground clearance is high enough to clear most obstacles you'd hit on winter logging roads. But here's the reality. This thing is tiny inside. It's basically a hard-shell sleeping pod with minimal headroom and almost no kitchen to speak of. You're cooking outside under an awning, Overlander style. And if you're in North America or Europe, good luck finding parts or support. It's genuinely tough, but it's built for a very specific type of adventure in places most trailers would absolutely fall apart. Taking the next spot is the MDC XT10E. And this is where things get interesting because you're getting a ton of stuff for around $26,000 to $27,000. Electric pop top, independent coil spring suspension with twin shocks per side, slide out kitchen, 200 amp hour lithium battery, 440 watts of solar, diesel heater, and even air conditioning. That independent suspension with the X-Track setup means each side absorbs the hit separately instead of twisting the whole chassis. The DO35 off-road hitch helps with articulation on steep approaches. But here's the honest truth. MDC builds to a price point, and it shows. The fit and finish can be inconsistent. You might find loose trim, panels that don't line up perfectly, or components that need adjusting right out of the gate. And at 1,600 kilos, it's not exactly light for a 10-foot body. Resale isn't amazing either, but if you want maximum features without spending 70 grand, it delivers. The Encore RV Venu 10KB is not what you'd call a rock crawler. It's a lightweight micro travel trailer that's built smart instead of built extreme. All aluminum frame, fiberglass exterior, and completely wood-free construction, so you don't have to worry about rot or water damage eating through plywood over time. At around 1,585 pounds dry, most midsize SUVs can tow it without struggling. Inside, you've got a U-shaped dinette that converts to a bed, a huge panoramic front window, and enough headroom to actually sit and cook. The torsion axle setup is smooth on highways and gravel roads, but let's be real. This isn't for deep mud or rock crawling. Ground clearance is fine for Forest Service roads and campgrounds, but you're not taking this through the same terrain as those first three. At 20 to 27 grand, depending on options, it's priced for people who want comfort and quality materials over extreme capability. Now, let's check out the TerraDrop Alpha from Oregon Trailer. And this is where we talk about what happens when someone actually cares about build quality. We're talking Baltic birch interior, marine-grade wood construction, rigid foam insulation, and this ridiculous protective coating on the outside that can take rock strikes and branch scrapes without showing damage. The Timbren axle-less independent suspension with 20 inches of ground clearance means when you're crossing a rocky creek bed or climbing out of a steep wash, each wheel moves independently and you're not dragging the belly pan. The articulating hitch helps the trailer follow your vehicle's line instead of fighting it on steep angles. Inside, it's dead quiet, properly sealed, well insulated, actual queen mattress. But since the base price starts around 24 grand and a properly optioned deluxe build pushes into the mid-30s, you'll have to be prepared to spend some money. You're also not getting a fridge, big solar setup, or inverter unless you add them. Next up is the Campworks NS-1. This thing is basically a mobile power station that happens to be a teardrop trailer. We're talking 12 kilowatt hours of battery, a 3,000 to 4,500 watt inverter, induction cooktop, electric heat, all running off solar and battery with zero propane or generator noise. The Timbren axle-less suspension and BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrains give it legitimate off-road capability, and the composite shell is built for 4-season camping. When you're camped off-grid for a week and running a laptop, heating water, cooking meals, and charging devices without ever hearing an engine, you understand why people pay for this. But let's talk price. Base starts around 30 to 37 grand, and fully spec'd builds can hit 75 to 80,000. For a teardrop, that's luxury SUV money for something you sleep in maybe 20 nights a year. If you're an EV owner doing serious off-grid work or you genuinely need that power capability, it makes sense. For everyone else, it's complete overkill. The Off-Grid Trailers Midnight Edition is the definitive buy once, cry once trailer for overlanders. It starts with a foundation most competitors can't match, an all-aluminum body on a CNC laser-cut steel frame, Timbren axle-less suspension, 33-inch all-terrain tires, and most importantly, a 360-degree articulating hitch. This hitch is the magic link, allowing the trailer to twist and flex independently on extreme side hills and obstacles, keeping you stable and your tow vehicle perfectly online. Inside, it's built for genuine comfort with its R10 thermal insulation rating and comes standard with a lithium battery system, a 1,000 watt inverter, a Truma furnace, a 31-gallon water tank, a dual burner stove, a sink with hot water, and a queen memory foam mattress. This is a turnkey system with no wood to rot, priced around $40,000, but it's still a teardrop, so you can't stand up inside. And at its substantial weight, you'll want a proper 4x4 to tow it. But if you're serious about overlanding and want something truly ready to go, this delivers. Now, before we get to my final two absolute favorite trailers on this list, if you're into no BS breakdowns like this, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Not ready for that? Totally fine. Just drop a like instead, because that's what helps me know this kind of content is actually useful. This is a 10-foot Australian micro hybrid, and it's one of those rigs where you open it up and immediately understand why people spend serious money. The queen bed lifts on gas struts into the pop-top ceiling, instantly transforming the space into a surprisingly spacious lounge and dinette underneath, complete with genuine bench seating and dedicated storage drawers. It's got a Cruisemaster XT independent coil suspension with twin shocks per side and a DO35 off-road coupling, providing the articulation needed for steep, uneven approaches without a hint of binding. Outside, you'll find a slide-out stainless kitchen with a 3-burner stove, hot water, and an external shower. Inside, even a cassette toilet is neatly tucked away, accessed through the dinette seat. But you're looking at $40,000 to $50,000. While the unparalleled build quality and space-maximizing design absolutely justify the cost if you're embarking on serious remote expeditions, for the casual weekend at the campground, however, it's undeniable overkill. And finally, the Bruder EXP-4. This is the one that makes you question everything you thought you knew about trailer pricing. We're talking 99,500 USD. And yes, that's for a teardrop. But here's what you're getting. Patented adjustable air suspension with 12 inches of wheel travel and wireless ride height control. That means you can literally adjust each corner independently to level the trailer on steep slopes or drop it down for better aerodynamics on highways. The composite body is 60 millimeters thick with an R value over 5, engineered to handle 10 times its own weight. Inside, there's a queen bed, 80-liter compressor fridge built into the body, diesel heating for both the cabin and hot water, soft close drawers in the rear kitchen, 200-liter water tank, 500 watts of solar, 200 amp-hour lithium, and all the other good stuff. But this is absolute overkill unless you're regularly crossing the Australian outback or doing multi-week remote trips. For most people, it's engineering excellence you'll never fully use. But if you do use it, nothing else comes close.